Hello, Eric Clark here from the Quincy Tutor Network. This is one of our Fiverr videos. So in this video we're going to talk about long division. So here's a basic question. What is 177,931 divided by 13? So there's some things that we need to take into consideration first before we jump into this. We have some key terminology. The first thing that we want to do is define our dividend. And this right here is our dividend. The next thing we want to do is we want to find our divisor. And this value right here is our divisor. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to set it up like this. So we're going to put our divisor on the outside here, and then we're going to put our dividend right here. If you notice, I left some room here, and that's just in case 13 doesn't divide this number evenly. I need to allow some room to either extend it and find the decimal piece, or yeah, that's about it. So next thing we want to do is start asking ourselves a series of questions. So we have our divisor, and we look at the first two numbers here. We need to ask ourselves, how many times does 13 go into 17? And we know 13 goes into 17 evenly. So we then take the 1 times 3, and then the 1 times 1, and put it right there. Now every time I perform an operation, I'm going to draw a line, which means I'm essentially starting fresh. So we have 7 minus 3, which is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0, so we'll leave that alone. The next thing we want to do is we want to bring down the next number, which is 7. So we go ahead and ask ourselves the same question. How many times does 13 go into 47? Now we know that 13 does go into 47, but if we take 47 minus 13, we're left with 34. 13 does divide into 34, so 1 is not enough. So what we could do is we could say, 3 times 13 is 39, 4 times 13 is 52, so let's try 3. So we do 3 times 3, which is 9, and 3 times 1 is 3. Take the difference between these two numbers, 7 minus 9, need to borrow, so that's going to be 8, and then we're going to bring down the 9. So we're going to have 89. So we then have to ask ourselves the same question. How many times does 13 go into 89? And you could do it by a series of guessing and checking or mental math. But I know that 13 goes into 89 6 times. So we take the 6 times the 3, which is 18. Carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Same thing as before, take the difference. So we have 9 minus 8 is 1, 8 minus 7 is 1. I'm going to bring down the 3. Ask ourselves the same question. How many times does 13 go into 113? And that is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Take the difference of these two. So 13 minus 4 is 9. Bring down the 1. So we're left with one last step, and we ask ourselves, how many times does 13 go into 91? And 13 actually goes into 91 7 times, and 13 times 7 is actually 91. So we take the difference, which means there is no remainder, and the quotient of this problem is 13,687. So hopefully this was helpful. I look forward to your feedback. If you have more questions, you can reach out to us here, and you can also find our Fiverr gig by following this URL. Hope this was helpful, and I look forward to your feedback.